It is impossible to say how long I was imprisoned. It was an unbearably hellish experience, and each moment of it was excruciatingly long and painful. In my mind, it dragged on for years and decades. My best estimate would be around 6 weeks. I don't think I could have endured any longer than that. The conditions were absolutely deplorable. My life consisted of small portions of the Illithid galleon. I was housed in a cell below the hold. Sometimes I was alone, and sometimes I shared my cell with other prisoners. The Illithids are a pure embodiment of evil, and they seem to feed off our pain and our terror. They were quite practiced in torture, and seemed to cherish its practice. Since they could read your every emotion, they knew what tortures were the most terrifying to you, and focused on those. A favorite pastime was to run razor-sharp knives over flesh as slowly as they could. They would absorb the terror and pain of the victim. They were also ingenious in their sadism. They changed up their tortures constantly. We were not even able to kill ourselves and end the misery, as our minds were never ours alone. I can't describe this time in any more detail, as I don't want the reader to have to linger on such machinations. The thoughts alone can be too much to bear. I do, however, need to describe one torture in greater detail, as it plays a significant role in this story and my life. Indeed, as strange as it sounds, I think one torture actually saved my life. Occasionally, our captors would pull us from the hold and bring us up onto the deck. They would do this, not for any benefit to us. It was not to feel the warmth of the sun on our bodies, to see the wide world, nor was it to allow us some pure, untainted air. Rather, it was to further inflict us with their devilry. For you see, our galleon did not sail the vast oceans, but the skies themselves. I cannot explain it, for it is still impossible for my mind to completely comprehend, but somehow these monsters had learned to master the skies. Our galleon soared so high that we could not even see individual cities. We could view the world's oceans all at once, and above us was darkness, vast and unending darkness with pinpricks of light. We traveled a twilight world between light and darkness. The Illithids would tie nooses around our necks, and then cast us off, screaming madly in protest, into space, where we would float weightless. We would move ever farther from the galleon, until the air itself became poisonous, and we could no longer breathe. That is what they wanted. To feel our pain when we were adrift, with no ties to anything, waiting to plummet to our deaths, or strangle on the very dark air of space. As you can imagine, it provided us prisoners with a most excruciating and primal fear. Except for one. For me, it was a glorious experience, basking in the twilight. I could see the insignificance of my life. I had worked so hard to always preserve my miserable and pathetic existence, never knowing that I was a speck of dust in a cosmic clockwork. I realized if I wanted to truly live, I needed to focus on things bigger than myself. I needed to help people. Help them to not live in fear like I had my whole life. My fear had kept me small. It had become my prison cell, locked, from the inside. No more! Seeing the vastness of the world, it gave me hope. It birthed me into a new world. As much as I tried to hide my joy, the monsters could read my thoughts. This torture was never repeated for me. But it was too late. I was a new man. Somehow, I would survive this.